Welcome back to Reliving the War Smackdown. This time we're taking a look at the 16th of September 1999 episode coming from Las Vegas, Nevada. As mentioned before, I'll only be covering significant episodes of SmackDown or episodes I recall enjoying all those years ago. The first load of episodes from the Blue brand are quite important though, so if you're a fan of SmackDown's early days, then don't worry, I'll be covering quite a few more episodes in the next few weeks. Remember to check out the last episode of Reliving the War if you want further promo and match context. SmackDown and Raw are very much intertwined during the Attitude Era, so you'll get a lot more out of this video if you already know what happened last week on Raw. With that out of the way, let's begin. This is Reliving the War Smackdown, Helmsley vs. McMahon. The WWF referees are refusing to work. After what happened on Raw this past week during the Fatal 5-Way match and the main event, the officials have had enough and they're not entering the arena to do their jobs. The number one contender for the WWF Championship wasn't decided on Raw, and so a six-pack challenge is going to take place at Unforgiven. Triple H is going to face The Big Show, Undertaker, Kane, The Rock and Mankind while defending his belt. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out to cut a promo, and even though Austin didn't win the championship on Raw this past Monday, he still wants to fight Triple H tonight on SmackDown. Triple H didn't get the job done at SummerSlam. He should have put Austin out for good during his post-match beatdown. Austin did say he was going to come back to kick Hunter's ass, and Austin feels he did just that on Raw, but Steve still wants his WWF Championship back. Triple H can do things the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is giving Austin another shot at the belt tonight, or Triple H can refuse and Stone Cold will make sure Hunter leaves SmackDown in a body bag. The WWF champion shows up, he's got a ton of security with him, and as far as Triple H is concerned, Austin blew his opportunity on Raw and Stone Cold can kiss the champion's ass. Triple H says he will defend the WWF Championship tonight while also announcing he doesn't care what fans think of him. Hunter's gonna face a main event competitor of his choice, but it won't be Austin. It'll be someone who Austin shared the ring with in the past though. Austin says he's gonna follow Triple H around all night long. Triple H better have eyes in the back of his head because Stone Cold promises to hurt him at some point tonight on SmackDown. Here's a look at tonight's matches. We've got a 5-man Royal Rumble featuring the guys involved in the 6-pack challenge, and we've got a pepper on a pole match between the Big Boss Man and Al Snow. My.
Have you ever had sex? I haven't felt great. It felt so good when I did it with my penis. A girl let me do it. It literally just happened. Having sex can make a nice man out the meanest. Oh, hey.
To kick off the in-ring action, we've got Shane McMahon versus Joey Abs. Shane's going to cut a promo before the match, but the cameras focus on model and actress Cindy Margolis. I've no idea who she is, but she did appear in Austin Powers. She had her own talk show. She was apparently named Queen of the Internet, and she was the most downloaded person in 1999. I'm sure you'll all enlighten me in the comments. Shane says he and the posse go back a long way, but the boy wonder told the posse to stay out of Stephanie's business. So Shane wants Joey Abs to come out right now and learn what brotherly love is all about. The posse comes down to the ring along with Terry Runnels, and Shane performs an Undertaker-like dive over the top rope that looked fantastic. The posse gets taken out before Shane puts Jammy Joey in the ring. Shane then pulls off a second rope elbow drop. There's no referee in the ring, seeing as the officials are all on strike, so Rodney and Pete Gas get inside the ropes to teach Shane a lesson. Can't believe the Main Street posse are crumbling before our very eyes. Joey says he wants Shane all to himself. The other posse members get out of the ring. Jerry Briscoe then shows up wearing a referee shirt, so it looks like the Stooge is going to be our match official. Test and Stephanie McMahon watch on backstage as Joey Abs pulls off a suplex. It looks like Briscoe's going to be a fair referee as he counts Shane's shoulders to the mat, but Shane kicks out at 2. We see young McMahon's leapfrog back elbow, and it looks like Shane has it won. Pete Gas drags Briscoe out of the ring though, and this allows Rodney to get inside the ring. Unfortunately, the plan backfires and Rodders takes a clothesline from Joey Abs, and Shane gets the opportunity to hit a low blow while Briscoe's still busy with the gas man. Pat Patterson runs down to count the pinfall, but he gets attacked by Rodney. So Pete Gas and Rodney end up disappearing while fighting the Stooges, and Shane McMahon pulls off a spear inside the ring. Old Shane-O pulling off spears, what's going on? If you like that, check out Shane's top rope move. It wasn't crisp or anything, but it was still impressive. The move gives Shane McMahon the win thanks to good guy Sean Stasiak counting the pinfall, and Stephanie McMahon comes down to congratulate her brother on a job well done. She even gives Joey Abs a kick to the ribs, which was completely uncalled for. Absolutely disgusting behaviour right here from Little Miss McMahon. I do hope Shane and the posse get their act together though. No one, and I mean no one, wants to see this group fall apart. Ivory comes out to do a little cross promotion with Cindy Margolis. Cindy has an upcoming show on UPN and Ivory plugs everything here. The TV show, her website, the fact that Cindy's the most downloaded woman of the year. I'm leaving things out, but I don't care. Ivory wants Cindy to strike one of her famous poses and Cindy laughs it off. So Ivory forces her to do it while calling her a bitch. That's charming, isn't it? Cindy gets down on the canvas, she gives one of her poses. Double J sees this as a perfect opportunity to attack another woman, so Cindy gets put in the figure 4. Jeff tells Cindy to let Chyna know the same thing's going to happen to her at Unforgiven, but I'm sure Cindy couldn't care less about Chyna. Ivory then celebrates with Jarrett, but she too gets put on the canvas for a figure 4. And it's quite the gimmick they're going for here, isn't it? Double J woman beater. No females are safe when Double J's in the building. Backstage, Triple H tells Lillian Garcia that he will be facing a main event caliber superstar tonight, but it won't be Steve Austin. If you look closely, you can see Stone Cold standing in the background, waiting for the perfect opportunity to attack the game. Hunter's completely oblivious though, as he says Austin better watch out. The game could come looking for the rattlesnake tonight before the big main event. Steve Blackman has a chance at winning the European Championship tonight. I mean, he's the champion of the universe, champion of space and time. Us Europeans aren't worthy of having Mr. Blackman as our champion, so it's okay if he loses this one. Mark Henry left Blackman high and dry this past Monday on Raw because he was too busy with the Godfather's Creatures of the Night, so it's time for some motherfucking payback. We see that Tony Garea is going to serve as our match official as Henry gets wiped out with a Steve Blackman sidekick. Mark goes to the outside where he gets hit with a diving clothesline. Henry gets back inside the ropes while Blackman stands on the apron. In that, no good Val Venus appears to shove a kendo stick up Blackman's gooch before hitting him on the head. This allows Mark to pin Steve, but as mentioned, it's okay. Blackman didn't want to be champion of Europe anyway. Henry's upcoming Unforgiven opponent then gets in the ring and Mark ends up taking a sky high. Anytime Mark Henry takes moves like this, it always looks impressive. Backstage, Jeff Jarrett's giving Cindy Margolis a hard time, so Knight in shining armor Tess shows up. Tess calls Jeff Pee-wee, and this is enough to make Jarrett throw the first punch. The two brawl before we cut to commercial break, and when we come back, Double J calls Tess a dumb blonde, just like that Cindy chick from earlier on. Jarrett challenges Tess to a match. Double J will put his IC title up for grabs, so we're going to see that one in the semi-main event. Next up, we've got the charismatic Curtis Hughes taking on Ken Shamrock. Should be a good one. Chris Jericho comes out with his new muscle, and Y2J reminds everyone that he's one bad mama jamma. Jericho's scheduled to take on Ken Shamrock at the upcoming Unforgiven pay-per-view, but apparently Ken just admitted to Jericho backstage that Chris is the world's most dangerous man, and Shamrock even licked Jericho's boots. Big bootlicker Kenny Boy Shamrock. Curtis Hughes is going to face Shamrock tonight, and Chris even found a referee for this match. One of the greatest international officials of all time. He wears a mask so he doesn't get mobbed on the streets. It's the one and only El Dopo. El Dopo looks a little familiar, but Ken Shamrock tries to remain focused as he hits the ring to attack Mr. Hughes. Jericho joins the commentary table. He calls Michael Cole a terrible commentator while Jerry Lawler's mildly amusing. Big Hughesy throws Ken out of the ring and Shamrock gets dropped on the barrier. And I wonder if Curtis had a sore face after pulling off that scowl throughout the entire match. Hughes blocks a ring post bump, but he gets caught with a big right hand. Curtis then gets sent into the ring post and the ring steps. Shamrock locks eyes on Chris Jericho, so we get a chase around the ring that ends with Curtis intercepting Kenny Boy with a weak clothesline. Jericho and Hughes double team Ken and El Dopo does nothing about it. Shamrock gets choked out with some TV cord before getting thrown in the ring. Hughes pulls off a body slam followed by an elbow drop as Jericho rejoins the commentary table, and Shamrock then applies the ankle lock while Curtis reaches for the ropes. El Dopo calls for the bell. He says Senior Shamrock didn't break the hold when he was told to, even though the official didn't say a word to Kenny Boy. So Shamrock takes off the mask and look, it's Hard Finkel. Oh my god. The Fink begs for forgiveness, but he gets kicked to the canvas instead. El Dopo should consider himself very, very lucky. Mick Foley says he and The Rock are going to work together in this upcoming 5-man Royal Rumble. The Rock and Sock connection's a well-oiled machine, with Rock being the fine-tuned motor and Mick being the rugged part that holds the luggage. You could say The Rock's the front end, while Mankind's the rear end, the people's rear end. When Lillian reminds Mick that Triple H could select him tonight for a title shot, Foley says that would be cool, but it would be even better if Hunter chose Rock. That way Mick can go to ringside and steal more material from the Great One. So here we go, the 5-man Royal Rumble. The winner of this one's going to enter the 6-pack challenge first at Unforgiven, giving him a better chance at winning the WWF title. When you see the match itself at Unforgiven though, you'll realise it's a pretty pointless prize here on SmackDown. The Rock gets in the ring and he tells his opponents to go down the road and look out for the biggest slot machine they can find, the People's Slot Machine. Rock's opponents will play that slot machine, they'll hit 3 Brahma Bulls, they'll all be celebrating while acting like idiots with The Undertaker's Mickey Mouse tattoos and Kane's voice box gimmick. Rock's then going to take all the coins they won, shine them up, turn them sideways, and you know the rest. The Big Show then comes to the ring, so Rock and Show's starting off our Royal Rumble tonight. But before the action begins, Triple H tells Chyna backstage that he's going to jump Stone Cold before Stone Cold jumps him. Look closely and you'll once again see Steve Austin stalking the WWF Champion in the background. Our Rumble match begins with Rock in control, but he loses his advantage pretty early on. He gets his head rocked off the top turnbuckle before Show chokes him out on the ring ropes, and already it's time for the next entrant. It's Mankind. Foley enters the ring, he immediately helps out his tag team partner. The Rock and Saw connection work together and Big Show takes a double clothesline. Show's in danger of getting eliminated just before the next entrant arrives. It's the Big Red Machine, Kane. Rock focuses on Kane while Big Show goes after Mick Foley. The Rock looks to eliminate Kane with a big right hand, but he takes a big boot for his troubles. The Big Show's doing a number on Mankind and we have no eliminations when The Undertaker makes his way down to the ring. Taker is not in his wrestling gear, as a matter of fact he's not even going to compete. The fabulous Spiker Michael Liker goes on commentary and I'm guessing he's going to swoop in at the last moment to steal all the glory. Undertaker points out that Kane's now a dominant performer ever since he got rid of that little toothpick X-Pac, but just as Taker was finishing his sentence, the Rock and Saw connection eliminate the Big Red Machine. Rock then throws Mankind out, showing us all that it really is every man for himself. So that means we're down to Rock, Big Show and Undertaker. Big Show thinks he has it won after hitting Rock with a big choke slam, but somehow the People's Champ stays in it. Rock then surprises Show and he almost has him eliminated, so the Undertaker decides to take matters in his own hands and he finally steps inside the ropes. The Dead Man eliminates both the Big Show and Rock to win this Royal Rumble match, and the Big Show isn't happy with how his partner snuck in to claim the victory. Midian and Viscera show up, 2 members of the old Ministry of Darkness, and before Show gets beaten down by these 2 underlings, the Rock gets in the ring and he starts hitting everyone with chair shots. Big Show puts an end to Rock's attack by kicking the chair in his face. Viscera then delivers a big splash to the People's Champ, but still the Big Show looks annoyed at what Undertaker just did. I mean, showing up here and stealing the win while dressed like that is a crime against humanity and the Dead Man should be ashamed of himself. By the way, Big Jim Dotson served as the referee for this match, a man of many talents. Chyna's been told to find herself a tag team partner to face the Holly Cousins tonight on SmackDown, and as it turns out, Chyna doesn't need no stinking partner. The 9th wonder of the world's happy to face Hardcore and Crash all alone, so Crash tries his luck first only to get met with a forearm to the face. This is clearly a job for Big Cousin Hardcore, so Bombastic Bob gets in the ring and he puts on a wrist lock before Chyna performs another forearm. This gets followed up with a back elbow and Chyna smiles before hitting both Holly Cousins with low blows. By the way, that's not Earl Hebner officiating this match, it's Dave Hebner. Dave was working as a road agent during this time period. Hardcore begins fighting back and Chyna's now in a bad spot, so badass Billy Gunn shows up and it looks like Billy's going to serve as Chyna's tag partner. Kinda weird seeing as these two don't get along. The Hollies pull off a double back elbow and Chyna then takes a clothesline from Crash followed by a suplex from Hardcore. Chyna fires back with a DDT when Hardcore gets distracted by Billy. Mr. Ass then decides to tag himself in and he shows a lot of fire when stepping inside the ropes, but Chyna doesn't look too happy with this at all. Billy's going at lightning speed here and it's actually quite impressive. He ends up winning the match following a famouser to Crash, but Chyna makes it clear she didn't want Billy's help. Jeff Jarrett then shows up and he whacks Chyna with a frying pan. Billy doesn't seem to care all that much and he does nothing to help his tag team partner. So Jarrett takes this opportunity to put an apron on Chyna while giving her the frying pan and a soup ladle. Jarrett says there's only one thing left for Chyna to do, and that's to get in the kitchen and make Double J his supper. The big boss man, wearing more protective gear than normal, is holding the last remains of that deep fried dog named Pepper. He's even put the remains in a little doggy bag. Pepper's going to get put on a pole, Boss Man's going to face Al Snow in the ring, and either Al's going to get some closure by grabbing his little dog's remains, or the Boss Man's going to get the doggy bag and serve Al another meal consisting of high quality grade A pepper. This one wasn't very long. Bossman and Al Snow are going to face each other at Unforgiven in a special dog kennel from hell match. So clearly the WWF wanted to save the good stuff for the pay-per-view. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Sergeant Slaughter's our referee for this one. Al was able to floor Bossman early on and make a beeline for the doggy bag. Bossman prevented Al from winning the match, but Snow fired back with a few headbutts followed by a back body drop. Snow goes upstairs, but he doesn't go for Pepper. He instead tries a crossbody. Bossman catches Al for a falling power slam, and Snow then gets wiped out with a nightstick to the gut. Bossman goes up to retrieve the doggy bag, and at that very moment, the British Bulldog runs down the ringside along with a few dog trainers and their evil dogs. Bossman panics, he grabs the doggy bag and he throws it away. Al retrieves the bag on the outside, which means Al won somehow, and Bossman makes a run for it while getting chased by the vicious Rottweilers. Al can now give his dog a proper burial. A lot of pepper may have been digested by Snow and shot down the toilet, but something's better than nothing, right? Backstage, Triple H says he's going to make history on SmackDown and Stone Cold isn't going to ruin Hunter's night. But Austin's still stalking the game and it's just a matter of time before Stone Cold strikes. It's time for the Intercontinental Championship match, champion Jeff Jarrett versus Test. This time we've got timekeeper Mark Eaton serving as our match official, and for those unaware, Mark Eaton was the guy who threw Stone Cold's beers during his post-match celebrations. Mark Eaton was yeeting. Test dashes to the ring to get the match started, but he gets pummeled on the canvas. The big man fires back with a big boot followed by a sidewalk slam, but the fans don't care, they're chanting "We want puppies." Jarrett takes a gut-wrench powerbomb just before Rodney and Pete Gas show up. Test takes his eyes off the ball and he gets the top rope shoved up his ass. Double J then pulls off a dropkick followed by a diving clothesline, but Test comes right back with a power slam. Rodney jumps on the apron and once again Test gets distracted. Stephanie McMahon makes an appearance and she pulls Rodney off the apron, but this allows Pete Gas to wreck Test on the other side of the ring. Shane McMahon runs down to back his sister up. Rodney takes a clothesline just before Pete Gas runs over. Mark Eaton calls for the bell, and I like to think he also ran over to the timekeeper area to ring said bell. But yeah, it's complete chaos in the ring as Sean Stasiak and the Stooges also show up to take care of these Main Street hooligans. It looks like Tess may have been hurt from Pete's attack on the outside and Double J's middle rope arm breaker. And when Stephanie runs down to check on her man, Double J goes to put her in a figure 4. If you don't have a penis, Double J will attack you. Luckily for Stephanie, her brother really enjoys pulling off spears and Jarrett gets taken out before he can do any damage. But there does seem to be a bit of concern over Test's arm and shoulder. Okay, who's Triple H going to wrestle tonight and who's getting a shot at the WWF Championship? The game tells the security to keep an eye out for Stone Cold as we see Test leaving the arena while holding his arm. So yeah, I think Test should call this wedding off. You can't get hitched with a dodgy arm, can you? Hunter says he's allowed to choose a referee for this match and he wants someone who's going to call it right down the middle. So he tells Shane McMahon to come down to the ring and we see Shane watching the show backstage with Big Mommy McMahon and Daddy Vince. Vince makes sure his son's up for this and Shane says yeah, it's okay. The Boy Wonder walks down to the ring and Hunter continues his promo. And Triple H names a few superstars, a few potential competitors for this main event tonight. The Undertaker won't be getting an opportunity even though he and Triple H would love to rip each other's hearts out. Big Show isn't getting a title shot because Hunter already bashed his pea-brain out with a sledgehammer. Kane won't be facing the game seeing as he's already so distraught about losing X-Pac. Mankind and Triple H have had some incredible matches, but Mick isn't main eventing SmackDown tonight. That only leaves The Rock out of all the guys in the 6-pack challenge, but it isn't Rock either. Hunter says this person is someone special, an individual who wants to be a hero and someone who tried to steal Triple H's glory. A man with balls the size of grapefruits, Vince McMahon. Shane seems surprised, Vince seems surprised backstage. And after what happened on Raw, Helmsley thinks Vince wants to be a star, so this is Vince's ultimate opportunity. Hunter's willing to put the WWF title on the line to get a piece of Mr. McMahon, and Vince doesn't seem too eager. Triple H tells his boss to come down and pick up his Punk card. He makes remarks about Linda that Vince isn't too happy about. Vince finally stands up and he begins making his way to the ring, so it looks like we could be seeing Triple H versus Vince McMahon in the SmackDown main event. Shane tries to reason with Hunter, but the game's not listening. Vince then passes Triple H's security, and when he gets in the ring, he tells Hunter to go to the back and this can all get talked over. Hunter says no, he's done talking, but Vince reminds Triple H that this is a business matter, it's a WWF title match. McMahon is not allowed to interfere with WWF business, and therefore he can't compete in this main event. If Triple H makes it personal though, well, that's different. And Hunter gets his match by bringing up Linda again. He tells Vince to hide behind his skirt, and he tells Vince to have a word with his sexually frustrated wife. If Vince can't get the job done, then Triple H will keep it up all night for Linda. My god. And this is enough to make Vince jump Hunter from behind. The match is on. Within no time at all, Triple H has got the boss in the corner and Vince is probably regretting stepping inside the ring. The game lays the boots in as Shane watches on, and Vince loses his jacket as Hunter continues demolishing the boss. Vince tries to fight back, but his weak attack gets shut down immediately, and Shane's now telling Hunter to back off. This has already gone too far. Shane winces as Vince takes another right hand. He tells his dad to get up and fight back, but he has no chance it seems. Shane has to pull Triple H away when Hunter begins choking Vince out at the apron, and Chyna gets in a cheap shot as the referee and the champ begin arguing. This seems to wake Vince up and he throws a few right hands followed by a low blow. The competitors then collide into each other, proving to everyone that Vince McMahon is not a refined in-ring performer. The two then go to the outside where McMahon gets choked with some TV cord and McMahon gets his head rocked on the ring steps. Vince then gets set up on the commentary table and Triple H drives his elbow into the black heart of Vinnie Mac. The game's now having fun and this one should be all over. Chyna hands Hunter a steel chair when the competitors get back in the ring, but Shane McMahon tries to save his dad from getting his brain scrambled. Hunter shoves Shane away, he then cracks Vince with that steel chair. Shane delivers his third spear tonight as Hunter gets put on the mat, but Shane completely forgot about Chyna. Chyna and Hunter do a number on Shane before Triple H grabs the chair again. The shot he gives Shane's absolutely ridiculous right here, and things aren't looking too good for Vince either. The chairman's been busted open. Linda, Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe run down the ramp to put an end to this match, but the Stooges are no match for Triple H and Chyna. Pat and Jerry get taken out easily, and when Linda McMahon steps inside the ropes, she's quickly grabbed by Chyna, who then forces the chairman's wife to watch what Triple H does next. The game continues wrecking Vince, and at this point, you're just waiting for Hunter to end it with a little mercy. So he sets up a pedigree, and that's when the glass shatters. Triple H's face tells the whole story. Stone Cold avoids the security detail by jumping the barricade, and the crowd erupts as Austin goes to work on Triple H. Chyna tries to stop Austin, but she ends up taking a stunner. Helmsley gets up from the corner, but he too takes a stunner. Austin then decides to pull Vince McMahon over Triple H, and Shane counts the 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWF champion, and his name is Vince McMahon. Hunter wakes up, he realizes what just happened, he chases Austin through the audience, and SmackDown fades out with Vince McMahon holding the championship belt above his head. What this means for Unforgiven, we have no idea, but history gets made as the WWF title changes hands on SmackDown for the first time ever. Well, you can probably see why I needed to cover this episode of SmackDown. Raw is going to be very interesting next week, so I wanted to make sure you guys were all caught up. Another decent show right here, another memorable episode of SmackDown. I got loads of comments asking if this show was going to get covered along with next week's episode, and yes, we will look at SmackDown on the 23rd of September. Triple H has a pretty busy night in Dallas, Texas, and it's another memorable episode of the WWF's new Thursday night show. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really does help if you guys just click that little button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for Reliving the War on Thursday. Please take care.